What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Philipp Lahm, the 89 mid that is a CDM. This guy was added last year. We've got an 87, 89 and 91, and his 87 is a left back and his 91 is a right back. Normally, if we get moments, we get a CDM moments, and I think for me, Lahm is much better in them positions, and definitely with obviously the new explosive controlled lengthy meta, he is definitely going to be better in that CDM role. Mainly because he can't be lengthy, which is unfortunate, but the big question is, do you whack an architect on him? Because what I've been finding is, if you are so used to a lengthy meta on new gen, or at least pace, if we're going in that category, controlled running is better than explosive in every other area other than the first initial burst, which is where explosive obviously works. I think explosive does work, but you've got to have a specific style of play. It's very much passing orientated, and then quick burst pass, quick burst pass. I'm personally not adapted to that one yet, so I am trying to stick with as many lengthy, obviously, but then controlled if not. With the architect, Lahm can be controlled. Everything else is unfortunately going to be explosive from him. He's a high work rate, right-footed at 5'7". We have got team player as the only trait. He's coming in at a whopping 580,000 coins. Left back is 450 to be fair, which is mental. He's got some decent stats though. Pace-wise, is pretty decent for a card that I thought would have less. Good passing, can't argue with that one bit. Great dribbling, great defending. Lacking on the physicality side of stuff, but I'm going to expect him to be more of your intercepting CDM. I'm not expecting him to run the pitch. I'm not expecting him to get up and down constantly. I am expecting some big things from him in that mid in terms of just getting the ball back, intercepting, getting the pass off, and just moving like that. The chemistry style people are going, it is only 7 votes, so take it with a pinch of salt, is a sentinel. So a sentinel would keep him explosive. It would give him 96 defending and 74 physical. I don't know why at least you'd not go for an anchor personally, just to get that pace up a little bit more. I'm surprised that I haven't seen the shadow. Obviously that doesn't give you any strength and aggression, but really the anchor is only giving you a +8, sentinel is giving you a +4, so I would personally go with either the anchor or shadow just to get that pace increase, especially seeing as though 82 is good, but it definitely will get washed as we go further into the game. So let's have a look at Lahm, see what he can do in that defensive mid, and see, is he worth the price? Right then, let's get this show under road then. Let's have a look at Lahm. I'm expecting, to be fair, his agility balance is actually not bad at all. So I'm expecting him, to be honest, to be actually good on the ball as well. That normally is what I would kind of really think with a Lahm sort of character. Very good at that DM role. Reminds me a lot of Conte, just not necessarily as incredible strength really, and I think Conte even now is starting to drop, so it will become more and more inevitable until we maybe get a Conte icon, which will be worth so much. Lahm will be kind of like the stand-in there. See it into Lahm to get it out. He's going to be that maestro in the middle, I think. Very much kind of like his Xavi, but with more sort of defensive ability rather than the passing sort of. He's got kind of a bit of everything really there. Let's get him on the comeback. Like I say, the lengthy meta is the only thing that concerns me with any card at this point. In terms of that, the running, he's not necessarily the last man in defense, so that's okay. Get him pushing up the field here. Little 1-2s with everybody. Sees that ball there. It's a lovely left foot. Straight into Govu. Great assist. Can't argue. But in terms of the lengthy meta, that is the problem. He's not the last man, so you kind of have a little bit of backup in the fact that pretty much most centre-backs that you'll play with, or at least have in your team, are going to be. So you have that almost fall that if he isn't necessarily last man, you're absolutely fine. But to win battles, if somebody's just going to completely miss you by running past you, that's going to be a massive issue at times. And spending, what, 550k on somebody is the problem if you're not going to get your money's worth, basically. We see Lahm cutting across here. It's going to, like I say, completely miss him. A lot of these are through ball orientated. So, again, you're going to have to just win your battles when you can. Seeing it into Lahm, the maestro that he is. A little bit of a sprint. Go for that through ball. Hold it off. Get the ball over the top. It's not the direction that we wanted it, though. And again, Lahm controlling that play nicely. Lahm with the corner. We're going for the quick one in there. Milito is looking for it. We get Govu who's going for it as well. Puts himself ready for it. He's got a little bit of movement in that mid, which is nice. We're going to find him again. Get the little run on the go with him, like you can see already. Pace-wise, is just not enough oomph. And I think if you're going for somebody who you want to be able to kind of bring that ball forward, kind of like a very much a box-to-box, but with more defensive ability than attacking maybe, that is very poor. Then I don't think Lahm's going to be that sort of character. I feel like he's going to be more of a defensive unit, kind of stay there, but then also he will have that passing ability to bring it forward if you do need it as well. Not seeing a heavy amount of kind of defensive ability from Lahm. Kind of very much more passing, if anything. We know interception-wise he's going to be good. He's got a little bit of a pass on him, which is always nice. Took that a little bit too early. But I think, in general, a lot of DMs, and what a lot of find about CMs is they do just get passed on always. You see so many through balls that happen. I was going to say, I thought he was offside. So it's almost like you have to play so many matches to even see what a tackle looks like with most of them. Because you see this movement. Comes down the right, keeps going. It either gets intercepted, I move it into the center, we bring it back wide. And it is just a constant battle of who can get a good through ball into here. And his keeper is going to let it through his legs. Lahm holding off. I do like the dribbling. I think the dribbling is actually really nice on this card. There we go. First tackle we've seen from Lahm. He gets the ball off just a skill move, and he gets to move it up and down the field. Looking at Lahm, bringing the pace forward again. He's going to get looked at. It's a very, very panic ball from him there. First one we've actually seen properly intercepted. Lahm, a little bit of dribbling. Gets the pass through. Park. Lahm to see it out. We've got a big, big pass there. Find him on the outside. It's done all right. He's managed to get it to him. Managed to get onto this attack as well as we find Eusebio. Flick. Volley. It's a big block from Davidson. Oh, Lahm with the ball in. Melito with the header. We're going to get a good ability here. Let's try it again. Got to go just ping it straight into the middle. You know everybody's there. Sometimes the keeper's out and sometimes it does whack and bounce everywhere, which is always good to have a good corner taker for them. Just moments that could win you the game. That one goal could see you out the whole way through. We've had so many 1-0 and 1-1s that go into the 90th, and that moment either wins you the game, loses you the game, if you obviously can't do it, or just sets yourself up every single time to get a goal. So going into the overall for Lahm then. So honestly, not a bad card. What we're going to look at, we're going to kind of dissect and see, is there anyone better in that position? It all depends on what position you're looking in for and also how you want to play with him. So we already know new gen is not lengthy, is not going to have that perk of that meta side of the game. Old gen. He's going to be very good still. I feel like in terms of old gen, I'm trying not to base my perception mainly on FIFA 22 because obviously I don't play old gen, so I don't know physically what the meta is there. Is it just going for the same players? Is it players that are more expensive? That kind of gives you the hint, which I think is sometimes true, but I'd find it more true with the really higher price cards because we know Lahm is very hard and very hard to pack anyway. Icons are. The minimum one is Litmanen. We know he's not going to be incredible in comparison to a 100k player from the gold variety. There you're looking at maybe a Benzema, you're looking at a Lewandowski, you're looking at a Haaland who's a little bit more. They are top-end gold cards. For icons, it is a bigger tier. You go from about 70 to 80k all the way up to 8.5 mil for R9. In terms of Lahm, he's coming in at 600. So what I want to know is, are the DMs in icons the same sort of price? Is he the highest valued one? I'd imagine Matthias is a big one. Vieira is going to be a big one. I know they are CMs, but Matthias I'm pretty sure is a DM as well. So we look at Schweinsteiger, he's 306. We look at Ballack, 625 as a centre mid. Lahm's there at 582. If I can find Matthias, and I believe, I want to say he's a 91, I think his mid is. There he is, 1.4 mil, so we can definitely see the difference there. But then also the secondary value of this is their alternative positions. We've got a centre-back and a right mid on Matthias. May not want to play them positions, but it's nice that you potentially could put them in that position. Again, with formations and changing in game, that can have a massive, massive advantage on cards. Obviously with Lahm, we do have right back, left back. Again, could have a possibility. Maybe you've got a Trent in the team, an inform or special Trent that could be DM. Again, it is all about progression in this game, and you'll find that secondary positions, when we get to the top end, will really, really look very nice in this game. as I can't actually search. Oh, can I do it here? This is where I'm pretty sure it normally breaks, but we'll give it a go. Advanced. If we go CDM. No, I thought it might. Instead, we'll just go to CDM on here. I know this one works. And then we'll look at the top price versus the low. So obviously, Vieira is going to come up in number 1. We have a Yaya there. Another Matthias. Marquisio can obviously be DM. So you can see where he's sitting at in terms of the price. We've got Desai, Gerrard, Essie, and Lahm. As we go down, more and more icons cheaper than him. So it does tell me that he is considered the better DM compared to a lot of these players in terms of price. Then we look at the gold cards. We think N'Golo Kante is an absolute machine and a half. Can be controlled all the way through. Lengthy is not an option. So in terms of Lahm, he's sitting in a very nice position for the price that he's got. I would still recommend maybe looking at Architect if you are looking at more of a box-to-box, because I feel like controlled will definitely be the more benefit side of that. But then I would be thinking he needs a bit more pace. A Shadow, an Anchor would definitely give you that option. I think down here we've got 7 votes, and I just don't think... They've got Hunter there. They've got Maestro there. I think for me, it has to be a Shadow or Anchor. Even to have that explosive on there, he's still going to be very good at that tackling, making sure that he's got necessarily all of the things around him to give him the ball back and intercept it. Whereas if you don't put that on, say we do go Architect, you've got the 84 acceleration. He is very much going to be a kind of pass and move kind of guy. He's not necessarily going to be sprinting past people. Not that he ever was an explosive, but he gives you that quick, snappy counter attack and pass it. I'm not looking for him to drag it into the opponent's box. I'm looking from maybe the edge of my box all the way up to maybe halfway line and pass it out. Explosive should work for that. The only time it doesn't is if he's last man off a corner or something like that, and then you countered, because Haaland, Ronaldo, anybody who's lengthy or with a bit of pace will absolutely burn him. And I think then the only way really is to bring him down. But overall for me, for Lahm, I think he's a solid card. He's got great pace on him with that Anchor or Shadow. I think the defensive ability is good. Physicality's okay, nothing too crazy. Dribbling was a nice surprise. I think on the ball he's actually very comfortable, composed, and obviously does have a decent amount of agility balance. Passing wise was very good. I think that for me is a good standout one right there. He's got that defensive ability, but he can ping a pass as well, which again is always beneficial. And then finally we have got the left back, right back position. If you really wanted to, if you wanted to change somebody to be a DM or vice versa, wanted him at right back instead, you can obviously do that, which again is just an added perk to these alternative positions. Overall wise, as a DM, I would say I'd give him a 9 out of 10. I think definitely lengthy meta, more pace, maybe a little bit more on that weak foot, might have pushed him up to the 10. I think that spot's probably going to be for Matthias, for Vieira, and all of them good players, but I do think he's a solid card. Don't think he's worth 590 in my opinion. I would definitely look at more options, but again, it all depends on how you want to play. Do you have 3 in the midfield, 2 DMs, 1 DM and cams? How do you play it? Because that's going to be the personal option. He could play a single DM role. He'd be very, very useful on a 2 DM and then maybe a cam. I think again, that formation can be quite popular in this game. So let me know down below what you think. If you did enjoy this, make sure to check out the video on the left hand side, and if you want to subscribe for more, then that's always appreciated, and I will catch you all for the next one. Peace.